This is the 23-metre flagship of the Absolute range, the Navetta 75, and we've got the opportunity to take it out of the Cannes Boat Show onto the water and give it a sea trial. The starting price for this boat is €3.5 million. Let's get out there and see what it can do. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Absolute has been fitting IPS to its boats for as long as pretty much any manufacturer out there. What it doesn't know about this system really isn't worth knowing, and it's kept things refreshingly simple when it comes to engine choices on the Navetta 75, and that you have one IPS 1350 with 1,000 horsepower per side. But it suits the boat really well because you can top out at 25 knots on the nose, or if you bring it back to around 18 knots, you have a fast cruising range of approximately 300 nautical miles. But then because you have a 4,000 litre fuel tank, if you pull it back to the 8 knot displacement speed, you've got a range of 1,000 nautical miles. So there's really good flexibility in that cruising range. Now the hull shape is similar in form to the Navetta 73, the previous model, but it's a little bit longer, and we're not going to be able to challenge it an enormous amount today off Cannes because there really isn't a huge amount of chop around. There's some wash coming in from other boats on the sea trial, but everything that's come past so far, it just brushes aside with ease. And one thing that is a thread through all of Absolute's boats, even this big cruiser, is how comfortable the helm position is. You don't need to have such an ergonomically sound helm position on a boat of this size because most of the time you're just sitting back on autopilot, but Absolute have produced a really great position here. You sit nice and close, you have adjustment on the wheel, you have adjustment on both the helm seats, everything is angled towards the skipper. These screens are absolutely fantastic, and you have an adjustable wind deflector, so you can put that up and give yourself a little bit of protection from the breeze, and everything just falls within easy reach. The other thing is, because you're in the middle, you have a great all-around view forward, and actually you sit quite a long way forward. So again, that just helps you look at the wave pattern, and you feel that you're on a much smaller boat than you are actually, certainly from here, and you look back and you see what's stretching out behind you. But actually, I don't think this is the best place to drive this boat from, because the Lower Helm is even more impressive. So let's go down there. One nice feature aboard the boat is that it has an internal staircase to supplement the steps that are out in the cockpit. So if you want to quickly get between the two decks or between the two helm positions, you can nip up through the staircase and it takes a matter of seconds. That's really nice. As is this helm station. Again, it's a long way forward, so the boat sort of shrinks around you. It doesn't feel too imposing, certainly to handle out at sea. And again, the ergonomics are really sound, dominated by these three fantastic screens. You've got two in front of you and then one enormous Garmin screen down here, and you can obviously configure them to show the information however you want. I've got chart, engine information, and then Absolute's internal boat management system up here. But again, everything is really close, everything falls to hand really easily, and you have these wonderful seats as well. They're fully adjustable up and down, bolster section, you have really nice armrests, and obviously they're set at a height where you can use them to stand if you like to. You can wedge yourself in. That's a really nice position. There will be occasions where you want to stand and drive even on a boat of this size. And just going back to Absolute's boat management system, it really is one of the best. It's all skinned in Absolute graphics. You have a nice picture of the boat there, and from here I can skim through the menu and I can control most of the boat's systems: lighting, power, air conditioning. It's all there under your fingertips, and it's presented really nicely. From the Lower Helm then, we have pretty much direct access down to the accommodation, so let's head down there and have a look at the cabins. Now there is a full beam cabin amidships on this boat, but that's actually the VIP cabin. The master cabin is here, right forward, elevated a touch from the lower deck, where you really get the benefit of these huge picture windows. You also have some round opening portholes too, so you can get some natural ventilation coming through. But this is a really nicely shaped area, plenty of headroom,
of course it's totally flat underfoot. The other thing you notice is this style of boat, people will probably live on board for long periods of time, so there's lots of storage. 3 hanging lockers, including a walk-in wardrobe and loads of drawers, cupboards, loads of space to store your belongings. And then because of the orientation of the cabin, the heads is right forward, and Absolute have employed a partition door, a pocket door that slides back into the bulkhead. They use these a lot and they use them really cleverly, but that means you can just give a bit of privacy when you're in the bathroom. And then once you're inside, you have the shower cubicle here to starboard with a big rain shower head, and you have a toilet just tucked around the corner. Big windows in here as well, loads of natural light and good ventilation. And again, storage is impressive at lower levels. There's a big storage unit here as well, and you've got twin sinks. So it's a great master cabin, but let's go and check out that VIP. Another benefit of having the master cabin right forward is that where the master cabin usually is on a boat of this size is now the VIP cabin. This is such a luxurious cabin for a guest cabin on a boat of this size. You have full beam, the windows make an appearance again, almost as big, and natural light can come in with some natural ventilation. And then they've split off the bathroom, so the sink is actually in the cabin itself, and then you have separate compartments for the toilet and the shower, and loads of storage again. Storage everywhere, nice bureau down here. This is a particularly nice guest cabin. And then if we move forward, you have the rest of the guest accommodation. We have a twin forward here. It's not en suite, but it does have very close access to a day head, which has got a separate shower cubicle, decent amount of space, and again, a focus on storage. And then we're into another really nice double guest cabin. This is en suite, so it has access to its own bathroom. You have a good sized double bed, another really luxurious place for your guests to sleep. And then if we keep moving forward, we're actually ducking beneath the master cabin, and they've employed another pocket door to section this area off from the cabin. And then you have lots of more storage here. You know, if this is a boat that you're going to cruise on for a long time, then storage space like this is absolutely invaluable. There's even some more hanging storage here for that cabin. And then right forward, yes, this is a utility space where you have access to the bow thruster and its battery, but again, they've integrated storage in here to maximize every single centimetre. We've seen this open haunch design on the coupe range and the fly range, but this is the first time it's been on a Navetta, and it disguises all the mooring gear. So you can see the fair leads are built into them. You've got 2 big cleats here. You've got a rope bin, winches to tighten the lines, really substantial stuff. You have a boarding gate on both sides, so if you're alongside too, it's very easy just to jump off onto the quayside. And it's a similar story between Flybridge and cockpit, where you have totally modular furniture. You can choose any furniture you want. This is the standard stuff. You can move it around into any position you want because it's not actually screwed down. This is a nice way to have it though, because it means everyone sitting here, they both have views over the water rather than half the party looking into the boat, which when you're out in the water isn't really what you want to be doing. Big teak table in the middle. Obviously the leaves open up so it doubles in size. You could put a couple of chairs at this end as well, so comfortably sit 8 round here for lunch underneath the shade of this overhang. You also have a small wet bar down here. It's got a sink, it's got fridge down here, so you don't have to go into the galley to get drinks for people sitting down here. It's all right on hand. I like the fact you've got, again, a handhold, really easy to get hold of, and the fact you've got this bit of detail in the wet bar. It's not just a completely flat piece of GRP. The other thing you have here is the third control station. It's an option, but most people will probably opt to have it because there are times, say when you're stern to, where being forward, because you are a long way forward in those helms, despite the cameras, you might want to come down here so you can eyeball the back of the boat as you're coming alongside to the dock. You also have a really good view forward as well. And down here you've got the joystick to control the IPS, you have the bow thruster, you have the start stop as well, and you've also got the anchor chain counter. So all you need really to do those slow speed maneuvers. Let's check out the saloon. Very, very nice decor in here, typically stylish Italian design. Starboard side, you've got a bit of storage down here. This is where the television lives. One touch, up it comes. And then you see these massive windows, and you really see the benefit of those broken gunnels Now, you know, the profile of this boat is going to split opinion. Not everybody is going to like the styling, but from the inside, the effect is really impressive. Obviously you've got blinds on both sets of windows, but you get that lovely floor to ceiling effect and views of the water wherever you look. Here you have the main dining space, really nice big table right next to the window. Then moving in towards the galley, on the way in you have storage here for the boat's glassware. On the opposite side you have storage for all the crockery. Moving inside you have a partition door here so you can seal this off from the saloon. And then there's a clever feature here in that this is open at the moment, it's completely open plan, the person in the galley can converse with those at the dining table and pass stuff across. But if the crew are on board and the guests want privacy, there's a button here and you can just partition this off completely. With that pocket door closed, crew still have access out onto the side decks, and of course, because of that fantastic internal staircase, they can get up to the top deck without having to move all the way around the boat and back up through the cockpit. So then this is a totally contained space. You have big domestic size fridge and freezer here, Miele oven, induction cooking, nice big sink. It's a really well equipped galley, and there are side doors on both sides as well, so you can get out onto the side decks on both sides of the boat from here. These open gunnels are what give the 75 such a striking profile, but despite being open, it still feels very safe to move down these side decks. They're nice and wide, they're protected almost all the way along, and even though they're open, you've got these really substantial stanchions, and you've got the cable as well, just to make sure nothing can slip through into the water. There's 4 shallow steps up to the foredeck proper, and Absolute do all the little clever practical things so well, so you have really easily accessed storage just here where you can really easily chuck lines in. It's all beautifully finished as well. Twin gas rams, nice smooth mouldings on these lids, all done very nicely. And then you have this Portuguese bridge area, so you have the table here, you can walk across the decks really easy. This actually drops up and down, so you can make it coffee table, dining table. Obviously it opens up as well, so you can make it twice the size. And because of this Portuguese bridge, it's very easy just to switch between the decks without having to walk all the way around. You have a Fusion head unit up here, so you can control the music in this area separately. You've got pop-up lights, a couple of cup holders as well, flip-up headrests so you can sit up and read a book rather than just lying flat if you don't want to. And then you've even got a shower up here. Not really meant for people, it means that you can wash off all of the mooring gear if you've got dirty, lazy lines in the Mediterranean, for example. So that's the foredeck. Let's head out to the Flybridge. A hallmark of the Navetta range as a whole is how long the flybridges are, and that is really maximised on the Navetta 75. This is an enormous top deck, but it's a very flexible deck as well, and Absolute have moved towards modular furniture. You can pick whatever furniture you want. This is the standard stuff created by an Italian furniture maker who creates designs for luxury villas. It's not actually nailed down in any way, it just uses weight and friction, so you can move these into whatever formation you want. There's a couple of sun lounges back there, but it's all about flexibility, and it's the same with the dining table. If you don't like this style, you have whatever you want, but this is the standard stuff. It looks really smart, although I'd be very nervous about spilling some wine on this table because it can just fall straight through these gaps onto the teak. It does look good though, and these seats are incredibly comfortable, and it's underneath the sunroof, and that's a really nice touch because you can peel this back, certainly of an evening when it's not too warm, sit under the stars and dine up on the top deck. Now if you don't want that, you can have solar panels instead, and they will use the sun's energy to power the boat's domestic feed when you're away from shore power and you don't want to use the generator. The area is flanked by these 2 enormous bars. This one is really just storage, but it's nice that there's a handhold here so you can steady yourself when you're moving through the boat. And then on this side is where you find the amenities. We have twin Kenyan grills, cooling space underneath, and then the little bar area next to the sink forward where you can line up your drinks and your snacks and serve the people who are sitting in that seating area down there. Moving forward, cover the helm station, but then you have this little area here. This is nice. In the sun here, out of the protection of the hardtop. When the boat's stationary, it's a nice place to chill out, but when you're moving along, it means a couple more people can sit alongside those at the helm and enjoy the journey. I want to reinforce the point that this is a 75-foot boat. In fact, it's not even quite 75 feet. this is a seriously impressive crew space. You can have 3 berths down here. This boat's got 2, and if you just have 2, it means you have this little table here, which is a bit of space for the crew to spread out. One of the cabins is actually separated off. It has a door, there's a similar sized berth in there, and then you have a bit of a communal space here. You've got cooking, sink, bit of storage, the fridge down here, and then this is a nice feature. And the nice thing is that as well as having glass and some natural light in here, this whole section opens up to give you not only a great view out, but some fresh air coming in as well. And then if we move over to this side, there's another pocket door, surprise, surprise, but this is where the crew bathroom is, toilet, porthole in here, opening porthole, sink, and then actually a separate shower cubicle contained over here. Behind me you have the boat's washer and dryer and a bit of storage underneath. And then another thing that makes this layout work so well is that you have direct access through a watertight door to the engine room. Now you can quickly clamber down the ladder, there's an opening hatch in the cockpit and you can easily come in there for a quick check of the engine space, but it's really nice to have such easy access for crew into this space, and once in, well, it's amazing. Now I'm 6 foot and I can stand up tall in here. Great access to the Volvo Penta IPS engines. The pods are a bit tucked away, but there are access hatches in the floor of the crew cabin so you can get to those a bit more easily. It's really neatly ordered, very, very well lit. It is immaculate down here and should be a very easy boat to work on if you need to. So there you have it, the Absolute Navetta 75, a boat absolutely bristling with intelligent design detail and without doubt one of the cleverest boats in the sector. Please let me know what you think about the boat in the comments, get down there and give me your opinion. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and do remember to subscribe to the YachtBuyer channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time we upload a new review.